think about is you. When I see you, I'm confused, don't even have a clue. Got me feeling when last year. You won't fake and make it whole face like see the way that you gorgeous. The moment that you hold me, I'm always shallow, yeah. I can't deny the fact that I'm in love with you. The way you got me feeling is my point of view. You see love, you see love, you see love, you see love. I come in my right, yeah. I feel it paradise, you won't carry, you come and be my princess, be my fairy. My missing rib. To you I will leave my father's home and I will cleave. When I look through your eyes, I see love, I see love. When I look at you.
Good morning, good afternoon, and hello, everybody, wherever you are. This is 2A Radio, a global internet radio station broadcasting from Pennsylvania, the United States of America. This is the 10th edition of INSIDE Liberia. INSIDE Liberia is a program of 2A Radio looking at events unfolding in the counties of Liberia. Liberia is located on the west coast of Africa, and join us at this time. We have few of our reporters from around the country, but for now we have with us our correspondent who is from Lofa County. Fokwai, welcome to a radio again, and how you doing this morning? How is Lofa County?
Well, thank you very much. Lofa is very cool. I mean, Lofa is like very sad this morning. I don't know what's happening. If you move around Lofa, it almost like something happened. Basically, since yesterday, the senator of Lofa County, the senator-elect of Lofa County, Honorable Rani Samuka, was live on the Spoon Talk, where he announced yesterday that he has totally given up on the government of Liberia. And whatever the government wants to do, they can go ahead. He's going to move ahead with his life because he has tried consistently with the law to take his seat. But it appears that the George Weah administration have a fixed mind that they don't want him to take office. It is also rumored around here in Lofa that the National Elections Commission will sometime this month declare the Lofa County senatorial seat vacant. So all parts of Lofa, people are now really in good mood this morning.
Well, that's a very important development from not only Lofa, for the entire country, Liberia. Samuka's case went before the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court did order that he paid the sum in question. And after that, it is expected that he will be inducted as senator for Lofa County. The people of Lofa acted in view of the constitutional requirement, meaning that their son, Brandon Samuka, applied to the election commission. He was elected, and whatever the situation was, he won the election. And the case has gone to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court did rule, and the rule of the Supreme Court said that Samuka will be allowed to take a seat only upon the payment of the amount in question. So, citizens, what are they planning to do beside the sadness, your observation of the sadness of the county? Do you think the citizens going to allow another election? They're going to take part into another election, assuming that the National Election Commission did declare that seat vacant?
Well, that is a question that I posted the last time. That was just on yesterday. The Friends of Samukai I addressed a major press conference here in Vonjima, and they said the Friends of Samukai remain very supportive to the rule of law in the Republic of Liberia. Any attempt to go against the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, there will be non-compliance, and there will be some actions taken, unspecified actions by the Friends of Samukai. Not only the Friends of Samukai said that, also the Paramount Chief of FOIA, who is Honorable Momo S. Taylor, he was on record that if there is no way the government of Liberia can consider Samukai to take office, there will be no election in Lofa County. They will resist any by-election in Lofa, because in his explanation to us, the Constitution is clear. You can conduct by-election based on death, resignation, or expulsion from the legislature. Anything contrary, where they voted overwhelmingly that son 20,000 plus votes. Now, the petition filed at the Supreme Court, he got 1,060 signatories. In his mind, that's not sufficient to undo 20,000 plus voters in Lofa County who voted Honorable Brandon Samukai to be the senator of Lofa. So, in his explanation, any attempt to deny Samukai certification, there will be no by-election in Lofa. They will resist it.
Okay, that's a very good development, and we will follow that. We hope that some of the media institutions in Monrovia will pick up this issue and be able to question members of the Supreme Court and other the leadership of the country, meaning George Weah himself need to make some comments, or the Election Commission. And I don't know how that's going to work, but we look forward to how that development will interplay, because I see, confusion into Lofa as a result of that. If the government declared that seat vacant, I don't know what law or what would be the basis of doing that, because we have the Supreme Court opinion that is now lying down and everyone is observing it. If Samukai has not attempted to pay, or Samukai said he was not going to pay, then we're going to be raising ourselves into the question of why he's not paying when, of course, he owed, But all of this, there's so much error surrounding it, but we leave it right there and go into other development. We will see what we can do to follow that development. So, but besides that, how other development, is there any development into Lofa County?
Well, like Patient said, it was a very busy weekend here in Vonjima. The Carter Center concluded a Justice Festival in Vonjima. The Justice Festival brought together community leaders, law enforcement leaders, the police commander, the county attorney, and others. They gathered at the William V.S. Tuckman Hall, where some of the citizens raised some concerns against joint security officials, that some are compromising cases within Lofa based upon soliciting money or taking money from individuals who are accused, and some of the key officials of the joint security, the police commander, the county attorney, they all said no, that's not true. But what's happening is that the justice system is weak because people are not making follow-up on cases. That is, whenever issues take place in the country or occurred, most of the time they will take the case to the police, and the police will say after 42 hours, if you cannot make follow-up on your case, obviously that person has to be released. But on the contrary, the citizens said no. Even, for example, drugs, you have the police working with people who own ghettos in Lofa, in Vonjima. They also accused the county attorney of compromising some cases here on grounds that you don't take certain cases to court because he has connection One of the key person was the CSO, the head of the civil society organizations in Lofa, one Waka Yama,
Okay.
who publicly, in front of the county attorney and officials of the Carter Center, he accused the county attorney that, Mr. County Attorney, you have spent too many years here. I think that is the reason why you are not effective in your job, because the county attorney has spent 13 years in Lofa.
Wow.
So in his mind, the county attorney is almost like that is his home, and almost everybody like family members to him. So when issues are brought together, or maybe there are issues raised, you see parents going to a house to beg him, oh, Mr. County Attorney, don't take this matter to court. And sometimes you will see the county attorney negotiating on behalf of those who committed the crime with others to say, oh yeah, we want you to just forgive these people. You know, they are my people. All the people are my people. So let's sit and talk. So Waka Yama said to Carter Center and the government of Liberia, there is a need to bring in a new county attorney since Luther Sumo has spent more than 13 years in Lofa County as county attorney.
Okay, so that's a concern of the citizens of Lofa County, and we hope that the Carter Center herself will be able to pick up the issue with officials of the Justice Ministry, who can either see the need to change the county attorney, or even if they will maintain him, that violations by him, the judiciary or lawyers are respected. They are code, or lawyers should respect the professional code. So if there's any violation in those directions, I'm very sure, or I hope, that the Ministry of Justice will be able to look at those concerns. And then development besides that?
Well, the President of Liberia celebrated her 57th anniversary here in Wonjama City. But it was somehow controversial when journalists were seen walking out of the hall. I mean, where the program was scheduled.
What was the reason why they walk out?
Initially, James were notified by the leadership of the President of Liberia that Councillor Joseph Jala Papu, was to serve as keynote speaker for the occasion. Basically, he was going to speak on the media and legal affairs. That was the talking point.
Okay.
But at the 11th hour, the leadership somersaulted and said, Honorable Moses Colley, who is a senatorial aspirant from the CDC, is coming to serve as keynote speaker. Now, before even that occasion, there was the editor forum organized in Foya, and the Deputy Minister for Public Affairs, the Honorable Jalawa A. Tompo, was invited to speak to the occasion, and we could hear some noise in the background. I mean, from among citizens of Foya district. Oh, he's not going to speak. He cannot speak here. He cannot speak here. And we went out to question why you said the minister cannot speak. They said, as far as we're concerned, once Prime Samuka is not certificated, we're not going to allow any government official to speak to us here. As far as we're concerned, we are here for the Press Union of Liberia celebration, and not government information. Minister should speak to us. That lasted for almost 10 minutes. Battle cry. We hear the citizens raising battle cry in the hall, in the Tamatikor hall in Foya. And they were resisting. The minister could not speak.
So the minister spoke?
The minister only said, Minister Tompo only said, send the citizens out, should not speak, no problem, I'm walking out. That's how he walked out and got on his vehicle. And then the spokesperson, the communication director and Minister of Information, Lawrence Famule, was given the time to speak for 5 minutes, and he came up and said, well, tomorrow is the president's birthday, so we are here to celebrate the President of Liberia celebration and that of the president's birthday. That also disrupted the occasion for almost close to 20 minutes.
So that one will conclude that the Lofian or citizens from Lofa are following up on Brandon Samuka's pronouncement. Did Brandon Samuka pronouncement come before the press union's program? Because from what you said earlier, Brandon Samuka has indicated that he has given up Now it's like leaving the situation with citizens to decide for themselves. So the citizens now, having opposed Jalawa Tompo, the deputy minister for information, and also protesting statement coming
Mhm.
from the information arm, suggest to me or probably viewers that Lothians are resisting all government activity. Is it fair enough to say Lothians don't want any government activities from your observation?
Well, from my observation, I remember there was a protest here where the friends of Samukar supporters from the CPP said there will be no government function in Lofa. I remember it was Brandon Samukar who again spoke to the community radio stations here in Lofa, calling on all the citizens to abandon their protest and look up to the government of Liberia to dispense justice,
Okay.
whether in his favor or not. And that is how the citizens cooperated at the time to go slow their protest action. But of recent, the press union came here before Honorable Brandon Samukar who disclosed
Okay.
that he has given up on the court action by the government of Liberia. That was just on last night when Brandon
Okay.
Samuka was on the spoon talk,
Okay.
and he
But
said,
going back to the press union of Liberia after the uh, the journalist walked out of the hall, what was the next action? Was the program peaceful?
the program was actually peaceful when some of those journalists who, in their mind, said that the keynote speaker was changed because there was some exchange. I mean, the leadership of the press union didn't do well in selecting Moses Colley to serve as keynote speaker, and some of them walked out and some left in the hall. They sat there, but it was poorly attended. I mean, even the keynote speaker was not impressed. I could see from the look of Honorable Moses Colley's face, he was not excited. Serving a keynote speaker while coming to speak, you see people walking out. It didn't go down well with him.
But
But
was the first
in
speaker was he in attendance?
no, no,
Councillor
Councillor
Babu.
Babu, no, Councillor Babu didn't show up in Lofa. He didn't show up in Lofa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably that was the reason why Moses Colley was selected to speak, to fill in the gap.
I 2 days to the 30th, which was the anniversary day, I interviewed Melody Music Ketor, who was the chairperson for this year's celebration, and I asked her this very question: who is going to be the keynote speaker? And she said, a permanent citizen of Lofa will be the keynote speaker. And I said, you care to disclose the name? She said she could not disclose the name of the keynote speaker, but somebody from Lofa will serve as keynote speaker. That is how other media colleagues felt, that they felt betrayed by leadership. They needed to disclose that, well, Councillor Babu is going to be the keynote speaker, as was disclosed in Monrovia. But when they came in the county, the leadership was like dancing around to disclose the name of who was going to serve as keynote speaker. They thought that was not good on the part of the leadership of the president of Liberia. And right at the occasion, I mean, when this journalist walked out, I could see like people building consensus who to be the next president of the press union of Liberia next year. Yes.
Okay. That's a very good development, because we didn't know how the PUL program ended. For us here, we just ended the Association of Liberian Journalists in the Americas, convention, which was very successful. And I remember the elected president commending the press union for a successful, anniversary of celebration. So with all of these development coming from you, so just, give us the clearer picture as to what unfolded in Lofa County. So we will expect that you give us some write out here after, and then we follow up that development. We also see how we can publish that on the website. Anyways, thank you so much. Except there are other development you have on your plate.
Yeah, I wanted to ask before he come in, I wanted to ask if there was any follow up with the little girl that was in the hospital, the one that got wounded the last time when this guy bit her nose and
right,
and her eye. How is she doing right
she
now?
making reference to the fellow who we initially thought he was performing some ritualistic act. Yeah. So what's the update on that?
Well, she's improving. I'm told she'll be leaving the Telawayan hospital on Wednesday to go home. So I'm told by medical practitioner at the Telawayan Memorial Hospital that she's recovering.
Okay. But what's about the doer of the eye?
Well, I'm told he's in Foya. He's undergoing treatment in Foya.
Okay. So we expect that we'll get update on that. We want to know whether that case will go to court or what's going to be the next action on the part of the parent. Okay, so if there's nothing else to do, we say thank you so
I
much.
think so much is just about the National County Sports Meet is coming up. And so
Okay.
the local leadership here in Lofa again appointed Honorable Momoti Cyrus, who is the head of SIGA, to continue his chairmanship. And I'm told justification starts hopefully next week here in Fonjima City, because Lofa is the
Don't you think
defending.
that would be interrupted by citizens who are on the basis of Samuka's, you know, frustration about the government's own position on his election?
Well, we are looking forward to that, but the superintendent of Lofa County, William Tambakamba, came over listing. The chair is Honorable Momoti Saros. And Honorable Saros, who spoke to us, said by this weekend he'll be announcing other members of the steering committee. Lofa is the defending champion, so they want to start some early preparation ahead of the kickoff of this year's National County Meet. I'm told by the Ministry of Youth and Sports it's going to start the any part of November, and in December, those that will qualify December, January will be moving into Monrovia for the quarterfinal stage. But Lufians when it comes to soccer, they put aside their political differences. I could see Mayor Jefferson Tamakoji was celebrated by CPP supporters, including even the vice president, the former vice president, Joseph Yuma Bwaka. We could see Thomas Fala and others from the opposition bloc. They were all celebrating Lofa County. So I think the issue of soccer or the county meet is beyond politics here in Lofa County.
You are saying it's beyond politics, but I see politics into it. If you see Jefferson Tamakoji, who is the city mayor of Mosovada County, of Morovia, so to speak, and then he's getting involved into a sport meet, a Lofa County sport meet, or whatever you call it, and then you have Thomas Fala, who also is a former senatorial candidate for Mosovado County. And then you have Joseph Yuma Bwakai, a former vice president. They're all getting involved into these activities. That would suggest to me that they all are expecting citizens of the county to give them their full support. And that's the reason why this county meet is being organized.
If you were to take the microphone to Fonjima or across Lofa, the citizens are optimistic that Ronnie Samka is going to be senator for Lofa County, whether the government accept or not. Some of them refer to him as senator. That is how they refer to Ronnie Samka here, despite he having been certificated or inducted into the Honorable Liberian Senate. But they refer to him as senator on grounds that they voted him. And Jefferson Koji have consistently said in Lofa County here that he's not coming to Lofa because he wants to be senator. Because many times people have asked him, even he has been accused that he is behind the denial of Rani Samaka on grounds that he is seeking for a by-election to contest. And the citizens have said that any attempt to deny Rani Samaka, there will be no by-election. Neither to talk about another person.
Are you saying Jefferson Koji has spoken to say he wants a by-election other than the election of Brandon Samuka?
Well, like I said the citizen asking on his birthday that we are gathering information that you deny our son from taking his seat simply because you want a by-election here for you to contest and win. Is that a reason why You coming here with your birthday celebration. I remember that day, and he
Okay.
said, I'm not interested in politics much. I mean, in terms of senatorial or taking a legislative seat here in Lofa. What I'm care about is to work with my people in Lofa to bring development into our county. And I remember he was gowned on our day. He was prayed for by the Lofa citizens, and he was also mandated to go and convince the president, convince the CDC government to ensure that some should be certificated before December. So,
I
Honorable,
see a lot of contradictions into the governance process, but we'll leave it right there because a superintendent of Lofa County, the senators, the representatives are in Lofa County. They should convey message from the citizens to the president and not the city mayor of Montserrat County of Monrovia. They invite to be going into Lofa to organize programs. Why you leave Monrovia when you are city mayor of Monrovia is a contradiction of the governance process. However, we leave it right there and keep our eyes on those developments as we all follow on what is happening inside Liberia. Thank you so much. We appreciate you at this moment.
thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. Patient is tied around. Can we say the Grand Bassa County correspondent is live? Well, what patient is trying to get in contact with the correspondent of Grand Bassa County, let's just throw some analysis on what we have heard from Lofa County. It's important that Liberia be on path with other, democratic activities around around the world or what has happened in the past. Liberia is not an exception. It's not an island. There's a lot of things that are ongoing. War doesn't get started in one day time. There are a series of events that lead to conflict, and those who are involved in conflict resolution wouldn't go the way in which the CDC government is proceeding. Brandon Samka was elected, and not to protect Brandon Samka, we are independent people here, but we believe that following the development of Brandon Samka, if the government herself is contemplating to declare the seat vacant for another round of by-election, that would signal, that would be a bad precedent, and we hope that the government will rethink a position, or we hope what is being heard will not be true. Liberia is going through a process, and what we hear coming out of Liberia suggests that all is not well. And we hope that those who are in authority will be able to, do not allow the ship to sink. There's a lot you can do to protect the peace that you made rather than destroy the peace. There's no way you can have an election, national election organized. You take people that applied to contest the election, you qualify or certificate people, or you consent for a group of citizens to participate in the election. Now, when election is held and the people who are to be governed surrender their right or give their vote to a particular group of person or to a person, the people's right must be respected. Now, if you try to politicize or to cause a confusion simply because of a political game, we know the CDC lost a lot of the election that was held in the different counties. We hope this is not the reason why Brandon Samka will be denied. No one is agreeing with Brandon Samka that to have taken the people money, it was right to have used it in any form and manner. But with clear understanding as to what has happened, the Supreme Court rule or decision on Brandon Samka, I think the world at large is looking at what the government would do. The executive branch of government is supposed to honor the decision of the Supreme Court. Now, assuming that the Supreme Court decision where it mandated Brandon Samka to pay back the money, and Brandon has started to pay back the money, let us assume he probably did not pay the money, we should be informed. Liberia should be informed. And other partners across Liberia should be informed as to what is unfolding. But if Brandon Samka has said that the government doesn't want to see him as senator. That's troubling. Now we see what is going on in Lofa County. It may be at a very lower scale. You send your deputy minister of information, and I'm wondering if Jalaba Tompo did inform the president that he was denied to speak in Lofa County because of Brandon Samkai's issue. People have to be fair with the people of Liberia. Lofa County is bordering with Guinea. And other circumstances we have heard before, or we have seen before, should not be allowed to come into the governance process. The press union program was held in Lofa County, Vanjama. That also did not go down well. All of these situations should not be something that people should downplay. It's important that you all look at these matters very carefully. It's better for the people to have peace in this troubling period with the hardship that's ongoing in Liberia, rather than seeing some conflict that will derail their life again. Everybody is getting older. If you look at those in Liberia, there's no one at the age of between age 25 to 35 years of age on a larger scale that has a clear agenda as to what they want in life. And I repeat, the age between 25 to 35, if you have people in Liberia that don't have a clear agenda as to what they want in life, it means there's a lot of issues that the government should be dealing with. There's a lot of unemployment in Liberia. Lofa County is not an exception. The young people of Lofa, are there companies? Do you have good roads that people can even get involved in agriculture and be able to transport their goods to other parts of Liberia to get a living? Now, the 6 years is almost about to be over. Can Liberians, not just in Lofa, count success of a 6 year? I don't know, but I don't think so. Liberia is a country that people should take into consideration the views, the aspirations of a group of citizens of the world. You can't sit and don't feel for the people. To feel for the people is to look at their plight. To govern, like I said yesterday, is to ensure first and foremost the protection of each and every Liberian. Anyone who is president of Liberia should look at every citizen, not a group of citizens, before you get concerned. If a citizen has a problem, that problem can be resolved by a general, concern of all of the leadership. If it is not the president, it must be the vice president. Not the vice president, the speaker must be there. The speaker and members of the legislature, they need to act on behalf of a group of citizens. Now, in the instance where a citizen is killed mysteriously, I'm saying this specifically making reference to what we heard from the Inspector General. Patrick Sudu recently said he doesn't believe that mysterious death is occurring into Lofa County, not Lofa per se, in Liberia. But we have all evidence to believe that people are dying under mysterious circumstances. And the government need not to downplay that. Because if the Inspector General can make an open statement like nothing is happening, that gave the doers, those who are involved in act of killing other citizens, they will continue to do it. Because they feel there's no effort to crack them down. We hope that the government herself, in some of her cabinet meetings, will be able to discuss these matters very seriously and take some position and be able to inform Liberians about how the CAC government intend to protect them. There is a constitutional mandate. The primary reason why the people surrender their right to a government is to protect life and property. When these two important issues are not considered, then one will wonder whether it's good governance or bad governance. It's almost time for another round of election. But before we enter even 2022, where politics is going to be hot, we hope that the governance process will not be jeopardized by anyone. The people of Liberia deserve peace. Give them peace. So today we are still waiting on our correspondent. This is Inside Liberia, 2A Radio, a global internet radio station. We are broadcasting from Pennsylvania. Of course, we want to cover the entire country, Liberia. There are other correspondents we are discussing with to see how we can have other counties so we can know what is going on inside the country. And the only reason is we want issues to come out so that the government can be informed. If they are not informed, so they can be informed and be able to take the right action, the right decision. Okay, so for today's program, we have spoken to the Lofa County correspondent, and at this point, time is almost out. We are not sure that the other correspondent will come. We have problems. These are some of the issues. Internet, availability. We should be able to talk to everybody around Liberia in a space of time if we have these conditions met. Where you have private citizens prioritizing their own affairs and the national affairs. Internet in this age and time, we should have internet available. Go to Ghana or go to Sierra Leone. None that they don't have problems. But the concern, Ghana is building 101 hospitals. That's a debate even among Ghanaians. Liberia built one, how do you call it, hospital. And then we all must sing praises and dance. Whatever the case is, our time is out, and we want to say thank to those of you who have been watching us. This has been Inside Liberia, a program of 2A Radio, looking inside the country and bringing you development, unfolding events that affect lives. So you have heard what has come from Lofa, and we hope on Thursday we'll bring a brand new edition of Inside Liberia, where we'll be able to talk to most of our correspondents. And we hope that we will get the internet activity better on Thursday. It has been James Jensen, and we say thank you for watching.